my loyal and intuitive Cancer friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Cancer, sometimes the week begins with a certain heaviness that's difficult to describe. It's not quite sadness, not quite restlessness, more like the quiet ache that comes from sensing something is missing, even when all the usual comforts are in place. You may notice yourself growing more sensitive to the undercurrents in conversations, or to those moments of silence that follow laughter. There's a gentle but persistent longing for belonging, for the kind of closeness that feels effortless and true. Underneath, an unspoken question lingers. Have you truly arrived where you hope to be, or is there still something you're quietly waiting for? You might find yourself revisiting old memories, measuring present joys against them, wondering if the warmth you once knew can return in a new way. It's as if the familiar walls of your daily life are at once both safe and slightly confining. There's affection, yes, but also a subtle tension that asks whether this comfort is enough. In the hush between your routines, you may hear the whisper of possibility, nudging you to look beyond what's already known. The Four of Wands brings the atmosphere of celebration, but in your week, this celebration is tinged with reflection. You may find yourself surrounded by small milestones, a meal shared with loved ones, a project completed, or a simple moment of quiet satisfaction after a task well done. These moments shine with a sense of togetherness or accomplishment. Yet as you take them in, there's a pause. You notice how deeply you crave these pockets of harmony, not just for their cheer, but for the deep reassurance they offer your heart. It's a week where the idea of home in all its forms becomes especially poignant. You may feel grateful for the stability you've built, but also aware of its fragility. Joy is present, but it carries a question. Is this joy something you can trust, or is it something you need to protect? There's an emotional posture here of wanting to rest, to let down your guard and fully enjoy what's been created. But at the same time, part of you remains watchful. You scan the horizon almost unconsciously for any sign that the peace you're enjoying might slip away. Old habits of caretaking resurface. You may find yourself checking in on others, making sure everyone is comfortable, in hopes that the group's happiness will reinforce your own. Beneath these gestures is an unspoken tension, a sense that celebration must be earned, protected, or even justified. You recognize the beauty in your life, but you also feel the weight of responsibility that comes with it. Inwardly, you're balancing gratitude with caution, openness with the instinct to shield what matters most. From this sensitive balance, your path for the week begins to reveal itself. The comfort you feel doesn't just sit quietly, it stirs questions about what comes next. When you sense the warmth of belonging, you may also sense the shadow of its impermanence. There's a gentle friction, a pull between wanting to stay nestled in what's familiar and an urge, however faint, to see things from a new angle. The way you hold onto contentment shapes the choices you face. Your longing for security creates a kind of crossroads. Do you deepen your roots, or do you gently loosen them to allow for growth? The inner state of careful gratitude opens the door to a path that invites patience, perspective, and a willingness to pause before moving forward. The Hanged Man enters as the energy that surrounds your unfolding days. It brings with it a sense of waiting, of suspended motion. You may feel as though the world is asking you to slow down, to hold back from immediate answers or quick resolutions. There could be pressures that seem to demand action, perhaps a conversation that needs to happen or a choice that feels overdue. Yet with every attempt to push forward, you encounter resistance. It's not the resistance of conflict, but rather the subtle resistance of timing that isn't quite right. This week, you may notice friction in the form of delayed plans, shifting expectations, or a sense of being on the edge of something important but not quite able to reach it. There's momentum in your desire for clarity, but the universe seems to be inviting you to hang in the unknown for just a bit longer. This pause isn't comfortable. It may surface as frustration, impatience, or even doubt about whether your efforts are worthwhile. It's as if you're being asked to see things differently, to look at the situation from another perspective, to consider possibilities you haven't noticed before. The pressure comes not from outside demands, but from your own longing to resolve tension, to return to steadiness. Yet every time you try to rush the process, you're reminded that some answers cannot be forced. This is a moment to let discomfort do its quiet work, to trust that stillness can be as meaningful as action. The friction you feel is the signpost that change is happening beneath the surface, even if you can't yet see it. As you rest in this suspended space, it becomes clear that your potential is not something waiting for you at the end of the week, but something that grows in the way you meet each moment. The invitation is subtle. Will you cling tightly to what you know, or will you allow yourself to soften, to become receptive to what wants to unfold? The possibility of new growth lies in your willingness to lean into the pause, to trust that letting go of certainty can open the way for something richer than what you planned. The week's events are not obstacles, but mirrors reflecting back what you value, where you're ready to see things anew. From this conscious engagement, the energy of the Empress begins to make itself felt. Her presence is not loud but unmistakable, like the quiet expansion of breath after a long exhale. Growth this week is not about striving, it's about noticing where you can allow things to unfold more naturally. The Empress offers you an invitation to nurture yourself, to become a source of comfort and creativity in your own life. Possibility opens not through force, but through gentle acceptance, through tending to your needs with as much care as you give to others. You may discover small ways to bring more softness into your routines, a deeper appreciation for beauty, a willingness to rest, or a renewed connection with what brings you pleasure. This is the kind of growth that happens when you let yourself be held by the process, rather than trying to control every outcome. It's a week where you can find richness in the ordinary, where tending to what is already growing yields new abundance. The invitation is to see yourself as worthy of the same care you offer to the world, not as a reward for patience, but as an act of quiet self-respect. In the gentle embrace of acceptance, new possibilities begin to take root quietly and steadily. Looking back, the week reveals a quiet but powerful journey. You began with the warmth and tension of belonging, craving celebration yet guarding your heart. The Four of Wands gave you a glimpse of harmony, but also surfaced the subtle fear that it might slip away. As the days unfolded, the Hanged Man called you to pause, to meet delays and uncertainties not with resistance, but with openness. Frustration gave way to a new perspective, where stillness became a canvas for reflection. And as you let yourself rest in that space, the Empress arrived not as a distant promise, but as a living presence. She reminded you that nurturing yourself is not a luxury, it's the foundation for all that grows around you. Together, these energies weave a story of gentle transformation. You're invited to see that true fulfillment doesn't come from grasping or guarding, but from allowing yourself to be both held and free. The reassurance you seek is not outside you, it's in the way you meet each moment with kindness and curiosity. By the end of the week, the ache of longing softens. In its place, a quiet confidence begins to grow, the sense that you can trust both the joy and the uncertainty, and that in doing so you become more at home in yourself. Actionable insights for Cancer this week. You could gently try letting yourself pause before responding, especially when tension or impatience arises. You might explore what it feels like to enjoy something small and comforting without feeling you have to earn it. You could allow moments of uncertainty to simply exist, noticing what changes in you when you do. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to rest in what is true right now. Each moment of care I give myself is enough. I trust that my pace is my own. This week I am both safe and growing. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.